Somewhere behind the noise of your thoughts, there is another you, a quiet observer, a silent engineer who builds your world moment by moment, without you ever noticing. You call it the subconscious mind, but that name doesn't capture what it truly is. It is not beneath consciousness. It is behind it, like the ocean beneath the waves. Every color you see, every face you trust, every fear that tenses your body, all are shaped by this silent mind before you even realize it. It breathes when you forget to. It keeps your heart beating, your cells repairing, your instincts alive. And deeper still, it records everything. Every whisper, every heartbreak, every moment you wish to forget but didn't. You may think you are awake now, but most of your life happens in that unseen layer, in patterns carved by memory, emotion, and repetition. You are not the surface of your thoughts. You are the current that moves them. Now take a slow breath. Inhale deeply and feel your chest rise. Exhale slowly and let it fall. You're not breathing. You're being breathed. This is your first doorway into the subconscious. The realization that control is not power, awareness is. Science tells us that more than 95% of our actions are guided by subconscious processes. The way you walk, the tone of your voice, the things you believe are you. Even the way you love or destroy yourself. The subconscious doesn't speak in words. It speaks in symbols, sensations, and repetition. It remembers not what happened, but how it felt. A smell from childhood, a sound that triggers unease, the silence after an argument. Each becomes a code written in neural pathways, forming the unseen language that shapes who you are. Now imagine this. You stand inside a vast library with no end, shelves upon shelves filled with your experiences. Some books are glowing with warmth, moments of peace, joy, love. Others are cold and heavy, marked with fear, anger, regret. Every time you think, feel, or act, your subconscious pulls one of these volumes and reads from it. That is how it decides your reaction, long before your conscious mind joins the conversation. You may think you chose to be calm or anxious, confident or withdrawn, but the choice was made seconds earlier in that deep chamber below. And yet, this is not a trap. It's an opportunity. If the subconscious can be programmed, it can also be rewritten. Now, gently close your eyes. Visualize a still lake at dawn. The air is cold, mist floating over the water. Each thought you have is like a ripple across that surface. But beneath the water, the currents move quietly, unseen, guiding everything above. This is your inner landscape. This is where healing, change, and true control begin. Modern neuroscience calls this the limbic substrate, the emotional brain. When you feel anger, joy, or fear, the amygdala lights up like a warning beacon. Your body floods with chemicals, adrenaline, cortisol, dopamine. But here's the truth. These signals are not orders. They are invitations. Invitations to listen, to breathe, to understand what the subconscious is trying to tell you. When you feel anger, your subconscious is saying something precious to you is threatened. When you feel sadness, it says something once loved is gone. When you feel anxiety, it whispers, you're standing between what you were and what you are becoming. Every emotion has meaning, but we silence them with distraction. We scroll, argue, consume, anything to avoid that quiet space where the subconscious speaks. Yet that silence is where transformation lives. Now, imagine descending a staircase, each step taking you deeper into that silence. With every breath, the surface world grows dimmer, quieter. You feel the rhythm of your heart, steady, ancient. Each beat echoes like a soft drum, leading you deeper inward. At the base of that staircase, you find a door, no handle, no key, only a mirror. And as you look into it, you don't see your reflection. You see your patterns, the versions of yourself that you've been living unconsciously. The one who hides pain behind a smile. The one who pushes away love before it can hurt. The one who waits for permission to be free. They are all you. And yet, they are all illusions, echoes projected by memory. To awaken the subconscious is not to erase these patterns, but to see them without judgment. Observation dissolves repetition. Awareness heals conditioning. So breathe again, in through the nose, out through the mouth. Soft, unhurried. You're not trying to change your mind. You're watching it change itself. That is the art of subconscious mastery. As you listen, notice your body, the sensations in your chest, the small movements of your eyes, the quiet tension in your jaw. All of these are subconscious expressions, revealing what words cannot. In the next moments, we will travel deeper into the bridge between the subconscious and the physical brain, into how thoughts reshape neural pathways, how imagination rewires biology, and how silence itself can reprogram emotion. For now, let your awareness rest, not on thought, not on sound, but on stillness itself. Because the silence you hear right now is your subconscious listening back. You are now standing at the edge of your inner landscape. Behind you, the noise of what the world expects you to be. Before you, the unknown terrain of what you truly are. Your subconscious is not some mysterious power hidden from science. Is biology alive, electrical, and ancient? Within your skull, 86 billion neurons communicate through silent lightning, pulses of energy moving faster than thought. Each pulse carries not only data, but emotion, memory, association. The subconscious is the orchestra of these pulses, the silent conductor beneath your conscious melody. When you think of a memory, neurons fire in the same pattern that they did when the event first happened. Your brain replays your past, not as a story, but as an experience. That's why you can feel pain from something that's no longer real, and joy from something that no longer exists. In every replay, your subconscious strengthens that neural pathway, deepening the groove between mind and emotion. It doesn't distinguish between what's imagined and what's real. It only responds to intensity. This is why visualization works. When you imagine peace deeply enough, your brain releases serotonin. When you imagine fear vividly, your body floods with cortisol. The subconscious obeys what the conscious mind believes. Now, imagine this. You're standing in a small forest clearing at dusk. The air is cool. Golden light flickers through tall trees. You sit on a stone, eyes closed, and begin to breathe. Each breath carries awareness inward, deeper into your body's subtle rhythms. Your heartbeat, slow and steady. Your breath, soft and circular. Your thoughts, drifting like clouds. In this state, you begin to feel the language of the subconscious, imagery, rhythm, repetition. You picture a glowing thread from the base of your spine to the center of your forehead. As you breathe, that thread pulses gently with light. You are not imagining. You are communicating. Each pulse is a message to your nervous system. I am safe. I am listening. At that moment, your brain shifts from beta, the wave of logic and reaction, to alpha, the wave of calm awareness. Then deeper into theta, the realm of imagination, dreams, and healing. Theta is the bridge between the conscious and subconscious. It is the place where thoughts become sensations, and sensations become truth. When a monk meditates for years, or when a child drifts into deep play, this is the frequency their brain finds. In theta, you are not forcing control. You are flowing with awareness. The subconscious opens like a gate, revealing what it has guarded for years. A childhood fear you never named. A voice that told you you weren't enough. A forgotten moment of wonder when you first felt alive. You do not have to fight them. You only have to observe. Because observation, not resistance, is transformation. Every emotion is energy in motion. The word itself, emotion, means movement. When you resist emotion, you freeze it. When you allow it to move, you free it. Now breathe again, deeply, but without control. Feel your breath rise and fall like an ocean tide. Imagine your thoughts as waves. Notice how each thought rises, crests, and dissolves back into silence. That silence is your awareness. That is the place beyond fear, beyond doubt. In psychology, this state is sometimes called meta-awareness, the ability to see thought without becoming it. When you master this state, you're no longer ruled by old patterns. You begin to rewrite them. And that is how you reprogram the subconscious. Not by command, not by force, but through repetition of emotion paired with awareness. Think of a gardener tending soil. He does not shout at seeds to grow. He simply plants, waters, and allows time to unfold. The subconscious is the same. Every time you visualize calm, kindness, or courage, you plant those qualities into the soil of your inner mind. And if you feed them with awareness and repetition, they grow into habits, instincts, intuition. Now, let's step into an experiment. Imagine someone you once resented. Feel the tension in your body. Notice where it lives, perhaps in your chest or your stomach. Now, imagine that same person as a child, confused, uncertain, shaped by pain. Breathe into that image. Not forgiveness, just understanding. Notice what changes. The tension softens, not because you justify what happened, but because your subconscious shifts from fear to awareness. That shift alone rewires the emotional pattern. This is how therapy works. This is how meditation heals. It's not magic, it's neuroplasticity, the physical rewiring of your brain through experience. Every mindful breath is a biological act of change. Every moment of awareness is a quiet evolution of who you are. Now, imagine you are walking back up that staircase from before, the one that led into the mirror of your subconscious. Each step brings you closer to the surface. But something feels different now. You're no longer escaping the subconscious. You are bringing it with you, as an ally, not an enemy. You open your eyes. The world looks slightly more vivid, colors softer, sounds clearer. The space between you and your thoughts has widened. You are no longer your reactions. You are the observer of them. And in that awareness, you find peace. But here's the paradox. The moment you think you've mastered the mind, it changes. The subconscious is alive, fluid, infinite. Just when you believe you understand it, it reveals another layer. A deeper silence, a new mystery. That's what keeps seekers searching, meditators meditating, and minds like yours curious, alive, evolving. Because the mind is not meant to be conquered. It's meant to be witnessed. As the narrator's voice softens, imagine standing before that mirror again. But this time, when you look in, you don't see reflections or memories. You don't see reflections or memories. You see possibility, pure, formless awareness gazing back. You smile softly, and the mirror breathes. You realize you've never been separate from it. The subconscious was never hiding. It was you all along, waiting for you to remember.